Hey all, I'm Jalan from Sophos Support, and today we're talking about how to remediate a coin miner infection in a Windows environment. Coin miners are a unique type of malware because instead of trying to steal or damage the data on your device, their sole purpose is to use your computer resources for crypto mining. Crypto mining taxes GPUs and CPUs heavily, so you'll see a huge performance impact on any machines that are infected. To remediate a coin miner infection, you'll need to identify the coin miner itself, make sure all the devices in the network are patched with the latest Windows security updates, and then actually remove the coin miner and its method of persistence. Coin miners generally tend to hide exactly what they're doing by running through PowerShell. If you open Task Manager on an affected system, you'll likely see PowerShell spiking your CPU. You may see detections on PowerShell from Sophos, but PowerShell isn't the true issue. Whatever is using PowerShell for mining is, so we'll need to dig deeper into what's actually triggering it. Coin miners generally take the form of either an executable file or a script in the form of a scheduled task or WMI entry. The first step you'll need to take is to use Microsoft's Autoruns application to search for any undetected malicious files. The link to download Autoruns is in the video description. Once you download it, extract the zip file and run the executable. If you're using 64-bit Windows, run autoruns64.exe. If not, run autoruns.exe. The user you're currently logged on as will affect what Autoruns displays, so run the program as administrator to see all information. We have an in-depth guide on using Autoruns to locate undetected malware. The link for that's in the video description as well. Once the program's launched, you'll want to look for any files that are unverified and highlighted in red. In options, I also like to enable check virus total in the scan options. This is going to show you if any antivirus vendors detect the scanned files as malware. Keep in mind you'll need an internet connection on the device for that option to work. Some common places malicious executables will are the Windows run keys, which you can see in the logon tab, or you can just view everything. Any files you spot, you'll need to navigate to that location, zip those files up so they're no longer able to execute, and submit them to Sophos Labs for analysis. The link to submit files to Sophos Labs is in the video description. Once the files have been analyzed, if they're malicious, we'll create and release a signature to make sure the file is detected by the endpoint client. Remember that even if we do release a signature to detect these files, Sophos endpoint must be fully installed using recommended settings to be able to detect malicious files. This type of malware tends to take advantage of the WMI mechanism in Windows to make itself difficult to detect. WMI is a tool administrators can use to check system information and automate tasks locally and remotely, so it's a favorite for malicious actors. Select the WMI tab and see if there's any entries. You may see something that looks similar to this screenshot in the WMI tab. We'll talk about how to remove any entries here in the removal section. Before we get to the removal, let's talk about patching. Coin miners and other WMI-based infections commonly spread through the Windows Eternal Blue exploit, which takes advantage of a vulnerability in Microsoft SMB. It's not the only method that's used, but you need to ensure all devices are patched with the MS17-010 update to stop the spread. Without patching, even if you remove the malware, you'll likely be reinfected. There's many methods of checking if devices are patched. We've put the link to Microsoft's article on checking Windows updates in the video description. We've also put together a PowerShell script, which you can run on devices to quickly find out if a device is vulnerable. The link for that's also in the video description. Additionally here, as I mentioned before, you need to make sure Sophos endpoint is fully installed and you're running recommended settings so that behavioral-based detection is enabled. If you're running into any issues with installs, contact Sophos support as soon as possible or your account manager for assistance. Once you've ensured all devices are patched and protected, you can move on to the removal. If in the identification stage you discovered a malicious executable, simply deleting or zipping that executable will prevent it from running. If Sophos endpoint originally detected the executable, it shouldn't have had any issues cleaning up the file before even getting to this stage. Of course, if it didn't detect the file, again submit the zipped file to Sophos Labs as soon as possible so we can analyze it. The link for how to do that again is in the video description. The slightly more complicated cleanup process is the WMI infection. Sophos endpoint cannot remove entries in the WMI database, so these entries will need to be removed via PowerShell. First, you need to create logs of the WMI entries to verify the malicious WMI objects. Then you can create a script to remove the WMI objects you find. You'll need to run the following PowerShell commands to generate the logs. I prefer to write the commands in Notepad and then copy and paste them into PowerShell. Once that's done, navigate to the log location you chose, I just left it as the C drive, and open up the .txt file. What you're looking for here is anything that deviates from what's normally supposed to be in here. This is what a non-infected device's log files look like. If you're not using WMI on your devices, then these logs should be empty or contain only the SCM event log filter, which is not malicious. You'll need to then edit the following command, changing the bolded SCM event log filter we've put in to the name of the objects you're seeing. We suggest running each command first in PowerShell to ensure you don't run into any errors when running the actual script. Once you confirm these commands work, you'll need to save these commands in a text file and change the extension to a .ps1 file. You can then run that script on all affected machines. The easiest way to do this is generally to push out the script via a GPO. Contact Microsoft if you need any assistance with policy configuration or help with PowerShell. So that's it for me for now. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment. If you need any help with product-related issues, reach out to Sophos support or your account manager for assistance. Now, this video was aimed at remediating the incident yourself, but if you need any assistance, we strongly recommend contacting the Sophos MTR Rapid Response team to handle the incident for you. Rapid Response is a fixed-price service where professional remote incident responders will not only neutralize active threats on your network, but also monitor your network afterwards 24/7 for 45 days. Rapid Response is available for both current Sophos customers and non-customers, so don't hesitate to contact support or your account manager to find out more. Click the link in the video description to get more details. That's it for me today. As always, stay safe out there.